honoring your parents is one of the best gifts you can give yourself. A side note to those of you who are thinking about dating. Watch how that person you date treats their parents. If it's a young man, watch how they treat their mother, or vice versa. Because that's how they will treat you. So that's a clue there on how you move into your dating world and find a spouse. Fill your dash with love for your brothers and sisters. Now, I know sibling rivalry happens and we fight at home and we do things to each other, but really you get to pick your friends, but you'll be stuck with your siblings, your brothers and sisters for the rest of your life. You might as well learn to love them and walk in love, and you'll find them to be your best friends growing through and your best support as life moves on. Fill your dash with love for your spouse. One of the greatest gifts you can give your children, your neighborhood, your country, is loving your spouse. Because it is upon this husband-wife relationship that all society is built. When spouses stop loving each other, the country begins to crumble. Love your spouse. Fourth, fill your dash with love for your neighbors. If you strive to meet the needs of your neighbors, you will never need to worry about your own needs. It's amazing how just a short period of time here, us giving some things to our neighbors, all of a sudden, we got cookies at Christmas. That's pretty good. I like that. I didn't expect to get cookies for Christmas, but we just give some things out of our garden and things come back. You will never cease to be amazed by what is returned, by your effort and your love to befriend your neighbor. They will become some of your better defenders. Fifth, fill your dash with love for your enemies. My father used to say growing up, don't try to get even. Because when you're even, that's all you are is even. Always get ahead. And you get ahead by turning your enemies into your friends. You will never instruct someone, correct someone, or lead someone to the Lord if you are fighting with them. It won't happen. Jesus' words of loving your enemies is a very, very practical teaching for those who want to have outreach. And if you make an effort to love those people you don't like, you will grow in ways that you never thought, because the people who have characteristics that we don't like usually point out within us the things that are the weakest. The things that irritate me most about others are the things that I have that I struggle with most. That's why they irritate me. Because I've got a mirror coming back at me. So learn to love your enemies again for your sake, for the sake of the gospel, for the sake of peace within the community. Fill your dash with love for learning. You will be the same person you are today, 10 years from now, except for the books you read and the people you meet. If you don't fill your life with learning, you won't grow. You won't become the person that is needed 10 years from now. You won't have the answers for your children and grandchildren when they come. You must discipline yourself to read books. To learning should be a passion for you. What you will need to know 10 years from now hasn't even been discovered yet, hasn't been invented yet. And if you're not learning, you won't be leading for sure. You must be learning. Surround surround yourself with people who love to learn. A church should be a learning institution. You should be constantly challenging yourself to learn new things. You should be constantly challenging yourself to read new books. The church is not a place to learn. You need to find people that are interested in learning, that will challenge you to learn. Learning is a spiritual lifetime endeavor. Life is made up of this short dash. But within that short dash are moments. And in those moments, we make these decisions. We make decisions whether to smile or not to smile. We make decisions to speak a kind word or not to speak a kind word. We make decisions to do our best or to just let it slide. We make a decision to give a gift or to keep it to ourselves. See, love is not magic. It's doing what you're supposed to be doing, that you know you're supposed to be doing, each small moment. That's when you find love. And it's doing what we know we're supposed to do even when we don't want to do it. Even when we don't like doing it. See, love is not a feeling. That's something else. Love is a decision. You don't feel like getting up, taking care of the little baby when they're crying in the middle of the night when you're very tired. You don't feel like that, but you do. You don't feel like making supper every night for each family, but you do it because you know you're supposed to. You don't feel like shoveling snow or for your neighbor or for yourself or mowing the lawn all the time, but you do it because that's how you take care and love your family. You can go on and list all the things we don't feel like doing. But love is doing what you're supposed to do even when you don't feel like it. If you leave this church today and become unbelievably wealthy and world-renowned with fame, or receive all the pleasures of this world can offer and have not love, you are nothing. Because of all this, three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. I'll close with a story of a man who tells he was shopping, living in a small town in Idaho. He went down to the grocery and he was going to buy some potatoes. And as he was purchasing them, he noticed a young boy, ragged he was, unkempt. And while he was looking at his potatoes, the grocer went up to the young boy and said, "Well, I see you eyeing those peas. You like peas, you do?" "Yeah, I like peas." "Well, do you want some?" "I got no money." "I have no money to buy those peas." "Well, what do you have?" He says, "Well, all I got is my shiny new marble." "Well, how's your mother doing?" "Well, she's getting better." "Well, let me see that marble." "Well, it's a blue one. I got a nice blue one." The grocer says, "Well, I was really looking for a red one. Do you have a red one at your house?" "Almost red," he said. "It's pretty nice." "Well, why don't you take these peas and go home, and when you come next time, you bring that shiny red marble, and we'll trade it." The man says, "I watched that happen, and I talked with his wife, and he says, well, there's 3 boys in the neighborhood that come by, and he trades them food for marbles, and he ends up never quite getting the marbles. They're always not exactly what he was looking for." He says, "I left that community, and I never forgot the grocer." So years had gone by, and I had time to go back and visit that friends that lived in that town.